We're here with one of the finalists of Cable and Icon contest, and that's Joshua Matanane.
Matanane.
Pardon me?
It's Matanane.
Matanane, okay. And he's with ASG Communications. And Joshua, we'd like to first congratulate you for making it to the finals of the Cable and Icon contest. And what we're going to do here is during this final round, we're going to have the judges, which is myself, Patrick McLaughlin, and Betsy Conroy, ask you several questions in regards to the industry. And I'm going to start off with the first question. And the first question is going to be, what words of advice would you give newcomers entering the low voltage industry?
Mainly, if you've had some schooling, then that would definitely be best. At least get a, baseline standard understanding of what is expected for an installation, for a clean installation, as far as, your drops working and being effective. Also, mainly just repetition and just experience. Just, going to jobs and actually learning from experienced techs. I would ask lots of questions, watch what they do, and just get advice from them. That's pretty much how I've learned a lot of stuff, was mainly just on-the-job training. I had some, training before in a school, but it's nothing compared to actually doing the work. So I would say just pay attention to the lead technicians and who's, that's done, the lead guys, and obviously they're lead guys for a reason, and just pay attention to them and ask questions.
Well, thanks, Josh. Betsy?
Okay, Josh, my first question is, name a cabling installation best practice and tell us why it's important to you on the job site.
Best practice, I think, first of all, would be doing the job up to the the code, the National Electric Code. Now just making sure that you're not violating the code, because then you're going to have to undo your work if it gets inspected afterward, and then have to reinstall it. Paying attention to that. Also, of course, safety is going to be an issue on a lot of jobs, just because you've got a lot of other contractors there. Mainly just having a good product. Once it's said and done, make sure nothing's laying on light. That's a main deal. Make sure you're not getting any kind of interference, any kind of electrical interference, induction. But really just the cleanliness. If you pay attention to the standards of the code, then you're going to have a product that's going to work good and tested at the end. If not, you may have some that have some near and cross talk or some specs on the circuit. So then you're going to have to troubleshoot from there.
Thanks, Josh. Patrick?
Thanks, Dennis. Josh, if you become the cabling icon, you're going to be essentially a representation of the cable installation trade for the industry, and that's where my question kind of comes from, that thought. The question is, what steps do you take to show your customers that you carry out your projects, your jobs, with a certain level of professionalism? And by doing that, you impress upon them that the cable installer is a professional trade and not just a proverbial trunk slammer. So what steps do you take to show your customers that you carry out your projects with a certain level of professionalism?
Well, pretty much before we start, we kind of show them, do a walkthrough, show them what we're gonna do, what they need. Show them kind of from point A to B, what's going to happen, what's going to take place first of all. And then during the installation, make sure, of course, everything's clean up to code. And then at the end, show them the finished product. Kind of just showing them, they can see what it was when you did the walkthrough before. They see the final product afterwards, and then we'll certify it afterwards, which that gives them, of course, their printable PDF readout. That way they have something for documentation, knowing that everything works right, and it's a good finalized product.
Thank you.
Okay, Josh, what do you see your responsibility to your employer and to your customer?
Mainly just quality quality workmanship, integrity. I was told one time that, you come into this world with one gift that you can be born with and no one can take it away from you, and that's your word. So I believe integrity is a big part of anything that we do, regardless if it's in this industry or any other industry. Just your word. You stand behind your word, and that goes right hand in hand with your quality of work. If I have a contractor come to my house, my business, I want them, whatever they tell me they're going to do, what we agree upon before anything happens, they follow through with that, then I'm happy. And if they go above, then I'm even happier with. But I think when they do a good installation, what we agreed about originally, then they follow through with what they're supposed to do. And I think that says a lot about what they did as far as the integrity is concerned. To my employer, I'm currently self-employed right now, so I'm pretty much the head of our small business. But, just, doing a good job every time, putting forth your 100% effort in anything you do, So.
Good. Appreciate that. Betsy?
My last question from me is, what is your intended career path in this industry? And what steps do you plan to follow to get yourself there? And where do you see yourself going, 5, 10 years out in this industry?
Okay. I'm going to go backward a little bit with that question. Like I was saying in the original interview, we started off with a layoff. I worked for a company. Of course, I had scoring previous all that and outside experience before. But I started from a layoff. Worked for a company for about a year and got laid off. Since then, here we are now, almost 3 years later. It'll be 3 years in June. I see ourselves, of course, my brother works with me full time. He's a graduate, and he actually was working for AT&T before. I'm about to get him certified if we win, send him to a 50 course, to myself to a 50 course. We've actually lost contracts in the past just because we don't have the AC certified personnel on staff. So we definitely just jump into the certification right away. I actually have seats here for a basic course that we're wanting to enroll in. And I want to get RCDC certified and get a Cisco certified, and mainly just do infrastructure build out, and then also continue to do the networking side of things, installing routers, switches, pretty much to be an interconnect between the local transmitter and the customer. Do pretty much kind of fill the gap, fill the void for customers. But with that being said, you can't just specialize in just one thing, or you end up losing work or potential work in certain areas. Like if I just do cabling, then we're only going to be just cabling contractors. I need to kind of be a cabling contractor, networking guy, and potentially a PBX switch guy, and that's what we do also. So with that being said, just continue kind of having a broader spectrum other than just cabling, but also the Cisco stuff and the phones. And continue to keep working that direction,
Thank you. Patrick,
Thank you.
final question?
Thanks, Dennis, and thanks, Josh. You've begun to answer my final question as well. That is, what professional development methods do you find helpful? Talking about online learning, books, classroom, on-the-job experience, all of the above, to have helped you.
Okay, I kind of lost your audio there for a moment, but I think I kind of understood your question. I read. I've got 4 kids, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of showing up to classes and stuff, but if there's boot camps that are available, then I'll enroll in them. Content. I'm currently reading this book right now. I read. I read stuff and I study kind of at night after everybody's sleeping. Play with labs on my computers or whatever, and just try to just learn. There's a lot of resources out there now with the internet and YouTube available to us. I don't know how to do something. I'll either Google it, research it, or if I need a how-to, YouTube is great for how-to. I'm needing to reset up a VPN for a customer here soon. And I've done all that, so I've slept since then. So I had to go back last night and watch several how-tos on how to set up a VPN correctly. And so I think any of the sources that you can get on the internet, which are all free, most of them are, or reading, and of course some vocational training, which is great too. So.
Okay, Josh. Well, we appreciate it. That concludes the final round. I would like to thank you for participating, and we look forward to everyone getting out there and voting for the next cabling icon. Thank you all.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
And also, I'm going to say something to my competitors, Dan and Albert. I think they did a great job. I mean, they brought everything. I was kind of like really surprised that we made it as far because there was a pretty tough competition, and I wanted to, commend them also. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.